Yo, welcome back to Rablin Hoops, everybody. Today is a Monday. This video will probably either come out before the games in the afternoon today or tomorrow. Hopefully, I can get this out today. That would be nice. Sorry for no video on Thursday. I was going through finals. I was just trying to make sure I was able to get through all my classes, so I apologize for no video then. But we're here. It's summer. Playoffs are just like I'm locked in, man. I'm locked in. So I'm just gonna kind of be overviewing the series. Obviously, Cleveland and the Pacers played their first game yesterday, so I'll be watching that, or I'll be talking about that as well, and then also I will be doing a prediction for the second round. Okay, so first up is Thunder Grizzlies, which was a very weird game. I'm not going to talk about these first three series that I'm going to be talking about. I'm not going to be talking about them long. Shea looked rough the first two games. Love the way he was finishing the last two games. I'm glad all of the other role players and other guys were able to find their footing in this series. Memphis struggled horribly. I mean, it sucks that Ja got hurt. I'm not going to discuss anything involving what happened during his injury. That's all past now. I will say it's really weird how he said he figured the Oklahoma City Thunder out or had them figured out. I believe that they would have won game 3 if Ja stayed in. However, I don't think they would have won the series. So Thunder in 4. Also, we have Cavs in 4. The first 3 games looked really good. Kind of. Like, first game was really good, really competitive. Second game, I believe, was a blowout. Third game was a competitive again. And then this fourth game, oh my God, the Miami Heat weren't even trying. Weren't even trying. Honestly, God, I didn't even watch the game. I didn't watch the game because of how bad this was from the Heat. It was awful. I'm really excited to see what the Heat look like next season. But just like, I also think it's really funny that Darius Garland was talking shit and then still ended up not playing both of the games after he got done talking shit. And he's still out. Hopefully I can see Darius Garland play some basketball again because I love watching Darius Garland hoop. Magic Celtics. So I believed for a while that the Celtics were going to win the championship. I don't know. I don't really know anymore. The Celtics are a little banged up, but on top of that, kind of struggling against the very banged up Magic team. I just like that doesn't make me confident, man. And I know the Magic are one hell of a defensive team, but so are the Celtics. And on top of that, Celtics are also a fantastic offensive team. And they really struggled against the Magic, like most of this series. And most of the series was just Paolo and Franz Wagner. It wasn't really anybody else. So the fact that the Celtics could struggle as much as they did, basically against two guys, I don't know, man. They're definitely gonna make the conference finals. I thought they would beat the Cavs. Now I don't really know. I really don't know. Obviously, the Celtics dealt with Tatum being out in one game. I think Drew Holiday was out a couple of games. Like, obviously, that means something. But then again, this is the Magic. Not someone like the Bucks or the Pacers. This is the Magic, who are struggling heavily with injuries. It's just kind of unacceptable if you're a championship caliber team. And again, like, I know they were dealing with some injuries here and there, but that's just. And then the Lakers, man. Lakers Timberwolves. On the Lakers Timberwolves. I'm sorry. I don't. After the Lakers lost the series, I was like, there was like a day or two where I was kind of like kicking myself, being like, why did I think the Lakers would win this series? I'm very sad the series didn't go to 7 games, but at the same time, like looking at it now, being sober, finally from this Luka LA trade, and now that like their season is officially over, and I got to process this half season that they've had with Luka. They weren't, yeah, the Lakers were not the better team. They had the star power, but you know, Anthony Edwards, it just seems like the legend killer, man. Like, oh my, oh, game 7, I just saw a clip. Game 7, he was telling LeBron to congratulate Rudy Gobert for his game 7 performance. What? And Julius Randle, I thought he was going to play horrible this series. He had the best playoff series of his career. He stepped up and showed everybody he's a grown man. And, I think, part of this was he had a child over the playoffs. Congratulations to him and his wife. So I think the additional dad strength definitely helped. And you can't get suspended for dad strength, even though that's technically a performance enhancer, in my opinion. Yeah, Rudy Gobert absolutely just put the Lakers in a fucking coffin in game 7. 27 points, 24 rebounds. Rudy Gobert played horrible this whole series offensively. McDaniel stepped up, scored when they needed him to. I mean, played amazing defense. Scored, I think, 30 twice, definitely once, but stepped up huge. And Anthony Edwards had a horrible shooting night in game 7. And now I'm not gonna say some stuff, but if that was some other people, the internet would go crazy. But shout out to the Timberwolves, man. And I mean, like, that's not discrediting Anthony Edwards. He's literally probably the best player in the playoffs right now currently. Just like there's no stopping him. I can't wait to see him in that next round against you know who. Okay, under Pacers Bucks, I was heartbroken watching that play unfold with Dame. Pierre Andreessen came out and said on his podcast that he was thinking that it was an Achilles injury, but he said he didn't want to say anything. He didn't want to put it out there. I was under the same impression. I immediately, the moment Dame went down the way he did and how he just kind of sat there on the ground after batting the ball away to somebody else, that's kind of what I figured it was. And that just blows, man. Especially with how old Dame is, that Achilles injury, that's the last thing you want to see. I'm hoping we can see more Dame hoops, but it's going to be hard for him to come back. 35 years old, Achilles, that's just really hard to come back from. I'm going to talk more about the Pacers later, so I just kind of want to cover the Bucks. Like the Bucks, just that game 5 loss. That game 5 loss was so unreal. I was talking to so many friends. This game's over. Like, what a great way to bounce back for the Bucks after losing Dame. Like, fantastic. And then that final minute in OT happened, and I was just like, oh, okay, all right, Tyrese Halliburton, okay. I had a friend text me Halliburton was throwing, and then like literally a minute later, Tyrese Halliburton does what he does against Giannis. And honestly, man, as much as Giannis really stepped up in that game 7, some of his shot selections at the end of the game, some of his shot selections at the end of the game, man, horrible shot attempt. A fadeaway before regulation, like, Giannis, I get it, man. It's a tie game. drive to the hoop, try to draw a foul, get a point to win the game. And then the defense for when Halliburton gets that game leading layup. Brother, you're a 6'11" athletic freak. How are you letting him get around you? And even then, how are you not getting up to stuff it on the backboard? I don't know. I don't want to put too much of this on Giannis because Giannis did absolutely everything in his power. I don't know what this means for Giannis's future in Milwaukee. I'm honestly I don't want him to leave, but at the same time, what other options does he have? On to Knicks Pistons. Wow, this series was so much better than I thought it was going to be. It did go in 6 games like how I thought it would. But dang, man. I love this series, but at the same time, I hated this series because it was so good. But I feel like the officiating, the refs ruined the series, in my opinion. I think they tried way too hard to make this a physical game to where it got out of hand and they just didn't know what to call what anymore. And I like that they attempted to make it a physical game, but they immediately left it's like they went to a park full of children and they had their pit bull princess with no leash. It's like it was raps from the start. There's no stopping what is about to happen now because you have already set the precedent immediately. Sorry. This was a fantastic game though. The Pistons made the Knicks just look so uncomfortable. Brunson worked his ass off to get every bucket he got. And that final bucket, game 6, holy cow, man, what a shot. Cat stepped up. Cat struggled in the first half of the series, I thought. Definitely stepped up scoring-wise in the second half. Let Tobias Harris kind of work him in the first half. And then game 5, even though they lost game 5, Cat played phenomenal. The offense and the defense is a little inconsistent for the Knicks. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges, they kind of take weird shots, in my opinion. It feels like Mikal is always falling away from the basket when he shoots the ball. OG kind of forces these weird mid-ranges sometimes, and then honestly, Josh Hart's out there just playing ball, man. He's just really trying his hardest, and I love that for him. Onto the Pistons. It was a great first playoff series for the Pistons. Absolutely amazing. Cade definitely struggled shooting-wise, like I kind of thought he would have, and kind of with ball security. He also struggled with ball security a lot. He definitely made a lot of really kind of silly turnovers throughout this postseason, but he was also doing that in the regular season. Something he's got to figure out next season. No doubt in my mind that he can't do that. Cade will definitely come back next year as a much better, way better point guard than he already is. Malik Beasley, man, just could not. And that's what I mean. That's kind of what you get from shooters. He played really well throughout the whole regular season. I'm not going to say the lights got too bright because I really don't think they did for him. I think he played great everywhere else other than shooting. Yeah, man. But, you can tell Malik likes to be there. Hopefully this Pistons team can come back even stronger next year. Big shout out to Tobias, Dennis Schroeder, and Asar. I mean, Tobias Harris did what I thought he couldn't do. I thought just like Julius Randle, he was going to drop in the playoffs. Was their second leading scorer averaging wise. He averaged 15 points and he shot 48, 43, 100 shooting splits and played some really good defense on Cat. I mean, you couldn't ask anything else from him being how old he is. Dennis Schroeder absolutely was not one time looked afraid of the moment. Hit a game winner. I believe it's either game 1 or game 2. Just drilled a 3. Like, he was not afraid of the moment. He called his number multiple times when they needed him. And, I mean, he's best 6-man in the league right now, in my opinion. I mean, I love him because he's a former Thunder player, but, I mean, Dennis Schroeder is just him. Asar Thompson, man. Holy cow, young man. Excellent defense. Phenomenal defense. I mean, Jalen Brunson himself even went to Asar and was like, you made me work my ass off. Like, seriously, like, what you're doing is, like, fantastic. Like, this man, I feel bad because just because a man is on the Rockets doing what he's doing, Asar is not really looked at. And he's almost like he's in his brother's shadow when these are literally both of these guys play the exact same kind of defense. They are going to make you work no matter what. They will lock down your main offensive piece if they want to. Literally just if they want to. It literally took Jalen Brunson making him fall on the last play of the game, basically, to win it, to win the series. Otherwise, it was probably going to a game 7. Just beautiful by the Pistons. I cannot wait to watch them next year. I really can. It was so much fun watching them this year. I mean, JB, I don't have a lot of good things to say about him at times, but JB really did turn them around, and they are definitely playing for something in Detroit, unlike what Monty Williams had them playing for. Okay, on to the Nuggets and Clippers. I'm just want to talk about Game 7 here. I was so upset. This whole series was phenomenal. And then we kind of get this very, very anticlimactic ending. And it kind of sucks. It definitely sucks because Kawhi gave us a playoff series that I thought I wouldn't see from him again. Honestly, I didn't think we would be able to see this kind of level from Kawhi again, and I'm really glad we got it. It just sucks that no one else was really able to get it going in Game 7 for the Clippers. I mean, James Harden had 8 total shots. I thought you were the system. What happened? You can't. He had 10 assists before half. I think he still ended with 10 assists. He just completely deflated in the moment. Same with Zubac, honestly. Zubac had 8 points and 11 rebounds in that first half. He managed to end the game with 10 points and 14 rebounds. Count it with me, everybody. That's 2 points and 3 rebounds in the second half alone. Unacceptable game from the Clippers. Absolutely unacceptable performance from everybody on that team. And I'm very sad that Kawhi, although he was kind of getting locked up here and there, he was the only one to have 15 plus points on the team. And even then, he was the only one to have 20. So, 22 points. The second highest scorer had 13. Bojan Bogdanovic. And then I believe it was somebody on the bench. I can't remember. It's been a minute since I looked at the box score. Jokic and Murray, this is the perfect game for them. In the sense of they get to rest before going against the Thunder. They both struggled heavily in this game, but Aaron Gordon, MPJ, Christian Brown, and Russ all just kind of just took over simultaneously. And it was just impossible for the Clippers to just keep up with. Christian Brown, I think, led the team in scoring with 22 or 24. Russ had 16. MPJ, man, even with that shoulder, he was able to just hit some great shots. Just no hesitation, just pull up, just draining it. Russ hit some great threes. AG played great defense and hit like they weren't guarding him. He was just dominant in the paint. He got so many tip ins, so many catch dunk lobs. Like it was beautiful. And Zubac literally was looking like the best Jokic defender. I was praising him in my last video. He just got it. I honestly know he can't keep that up every single game. It just sucks that game 7 is when it just finally, like the defense finally just gave way and it just cracked. Because that sucks because then they had to start doubling Jokic and that just made it just the moment they started doubling Jokic, it was over. Because they started doubling him when other people already had it going. So it was over. Okay, on to Warriors versus Rockets. This was a very weird game 7. It was competitive, but the people who should have been doing good kind of weren't doing good at first. Curry had 3 points to end the half. Ended the game with 22. Shot 4-10 from 3, and I believe 8-16 from the field. And he had 0 points, literally until like a minute left in the second quarter. Ahmed, obviously, playing great defense. Ended with 22. Great efficiency. It's Curry. He's just going to make them no matter what. At some point, he's going to start making them. And if you're the Rockets, it's just like kind of what you have to live with. However, Buddy Hield. Hi, where did you come from? Where were you this whole series? Hello. Fantastic game. Fantastic game from Buddy Hield. I mean, just shot lights out. I really wasn't expecting this game from Buddy Hield at all. I was expecting Curry to go off, and it was quite the opposite. Buddy had, I think, 33 points, just absolutely lit up in the first half and continued going a little bit in the second half. I didn't like that Draymond was trying to, like, be the scorer. Like, he took, like, 5 jumpers in, like, the first like 7 minutes of the first quarter. And I was like, let's calm down, Draymond. Let's calm down. Steve Kerr tried to bring out Kuminga and Quentin Post. Quentin Post had 3 minutes and then never saw the floor again. Kuminga had 7, had an awful 7 minutes and never saw the floor again. Jalen Green, who I'm not surprised, had a very rough game. However, I'm sad that he didn't prove me wrong because I would have loved to see him go out and drop 30, but I guess that was only one time this series. Alperen Sengun, he still struggles shooting. He struggles scoring the ball, and his efficiency has always been very low. And here it was apparent. Fred VanVleet was not able to keep up with how he was able to perform in game 5 and 6. Still had a really good game, shot 50% from 3. It wasn't enough, honestly. It wasn't enough for the Rockets, and I'm very excited to see what they'll become next year. Okay. On to game 1 of this Pacers-Cavs series. Now, if I'm a Pacers fan, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna overreact at this win. I mean, this is a great win if you're the Pacers after coming off of that Giannis, that crazy game 5 win. If I'm the Pacers, I'm gonna overreact. I'm gonna think that the Cavs aren't as good of a team as they say they are. But at the same time, if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm gonna be worried. But this is also the same Cavs team that went 15-0 twice in the regular season. So like this doesn't bother me. It would be nice to have both home games won, but might as well just split it and then take both the away games because that is what the Cavs are definitely capable of. The Pacers started off fantastic. Hallie had 22 and Nemhard had 23. Siakam and Naismith both had 17 and 8 rebounds, 17 points and 8 rebounds. Miles Turner played some phenomenal defense and had 13 points. Defense, he had 5 stocks. He had 3 steals and 2 blocks, along with 11 rebounds. Benedict Mathurin, man. Benedict Mathurin. Holy cow. Did he play some really good defense today? It wasn't just Donovan Mitchell, but in that second half, it definitely kind of felt like Donovan Mitchell. At least in the third quarter. In the third quarter, it was just Donovan Mitchell. Allen was struggling a little bit. He did take a really, really rough looking fall, which hopefully does not bother him in this next game because it's going to suck. The bigs for the Cavs did look a little kind of frazzled. They didn't really seem like they were kind of ready for this Pacers team. However, the Cavs are also down a guy, and the Pacers are that team that can turn it to 0 to 100 really quick. But honestly, like I said, like if I'm a Cavs fan, I'm really not worried about this. And honestly, let's go on to the prediction. So I'm just going to start off with the Cavs and Pacers. Then I think the Cavs are going to take this series in 6. Garland obviously needs to come back, but I still think that this team can win even without Garland. Mitchell is just going to give you a top 5 playoff performance, like a top 5 playoff performance game, like almost every time he's on the court in the playoffs. He's a notable playoff riser. And then Mobley and Allen, I mean, they're too good offensively and defensively to just let this game 1 kind of like throw them off of their game and not come back better. I believe this Pacers team is no team to like scoff at. However, I kind of just look at both of these rosters and I would say overall the Cavs just have a better 1 through literally whatever versus the Pacers 1 through whatever. Like they're 1 through 9 or they're 1 through 8. I believe the Cavs have a better 1 through 8 or 1 through 9 lineup than the Pacers do. And I think at the end of the day, that just will come out better because both of these teams have very good chemistry. But I just think on top of both teams having very good chemistry, one team is just overall better than the other. And I think, honestly, as easy as it sounds, that's just what it comes down to. And the Cavs are just going to win it. I don't think this Pacers Cavs game or this series is going to be this, you have to think super hard. I think it genuinely just comes down to one team is just better than the other. And it comes down to the Cavs. And the Cavs are going to win it in 6, I believe. On to Thunder and Nuggets. I'm going to have to take my Thunder. I mean, there's just no way in the world I don't take the Thunder. I'm going to take them in 6. The Nuggets supporting cast played very well in this first series, but not all the time. They're too inconsistent of a supporting group around Jokic to where I think this all-time defensive first seed in the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are technically 72-14, 68-14 excluding the postseason, the Thunder are going to be able to pick apart, like really pick apart the small little weaknesses of the Nuggets. And I just don't think the Nuggets will be able to do that. Honestly, it's like a nuclear bomb versus coughing baby. Like that's kind of like what I'm looking at right now. It's just Jokic is the best player in the world. Don't get me wrong. It's just Shea is the third best player in the world with the best team in the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's Jokic with like a bottom 20 team, and then, or not bottom 20, it's a bad team. Or then it's, you know, Shea with probably the best team you can build around a star, at least for his talent wise. The Thunder have done a great job in building around guys: Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay, next, it's the Knicks and Celtics. I have the Celtics winning in 6. I believe this is a series that can go 7 because I think both of these teams struggled. I think the Celtics should have just 4-0 swept, and I think the Knicks, honestly, both of these teams went against really good defenses, but they're also both just struggling in very hilarious ways. Cat not being too aggressive, Brown not being too aggressive, OG kind of just like throwing up some shots, KP just not, his shots not falling. You know what I mean? Peyton Pritchard, his shots not falling. Cameron Payne, his shots not falling. Ultimately, like I said, I have the Celtics taking it in 6. I think this can go to a 7-game series just because of how kind of rickety both of these teams have kind of looked. Obviously, the Celtics are the better team. They're going to win it. Brunson is a top 10 playoff defender or playoff player. He is top 10 as a playoff player right now. But you have Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, who are all very scary scoring threats. And Tatum and White can get it going from 3 any day of the week. On top of that, you have Al Horford and KP, who are also scoring threats and defensive threats. The Celtics are basically scoring and defense, and the Knicks have like kind of scoring and then like a little bit of defense sprinkled in. Like it's, and then on top of that, like you have someone like Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench, and then for the Knicks, you have someone like Cameron Payne. You get what I'm saying? Like there's levels to this, and I just think the Knicks just don't have it. Lastly, before I end this video, Timberwolves versus the Warriors. I have the Timberwolves going in 7. I really do. I think this is the round where teams lock the fuck in. And it's like, all right, we got through the first round. Let's lick our wounds and let's go. I have the T-Wolves in 7. I just don't think the Warriors have the team. Quentin Post, AirPods, Moses Moody versus guys like Naz Reid, NAW, Jaden McDaniels, Dante DiVincenzo, on top of Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle. What can the Warriors supporting cast really do against these guys? This is like this series where it's just going to be Butler, Curry, and Draymond. I don't really see a world where these other guys on the Warriors are able to really do what needs to be done by them. But then you might be asking, well, Ethan, but you have the Wolves in 7. Surely you think, the supporting cast can do something. No, I just think Wolves in 7 means we're just gonna get some of the best playoff games by Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry that we're probably ever gonna see again. yeah, I don't think the Warriors really have what it takes. I just think Jimmy Butler and Curry are just too good of a duo and too good at making the right plays and hitting the shots that they need to hit for the Timberwolves to kind of come in and just like and snatch it from them. I think Anthony Edwards, like I said earlier, is the best player in the playoffs currently. He is just doing. He has unlocked everything. Unlocked everything. It seems like the scoring, the passing, the playmaking, defense, rebounding. It seems like he has everything. And there's a few times where his teammates have to help him. But the fact that he just craves basketball. He craves for the moment. I think the Warriors will still put up a good fight, but I think a lot of that is going to be off the back of Jimmy and Curry. So yeah, there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. That'd mean the world to me. And yeah, let's watch some playoff basketball today, guys. Deuces.